I'll get Traff unbanned. Hang on. I hate YouTube doing this crap. Like, seriously, please stop. No, that's 2Ds. Traff's not in the banned list. Traff is not showing up as banned for me, so I don't know what to say. I swear I changed the binding of that. Hello everybody, I need to change the... where is it? Sub goal. It needs to be changed. Yeah, he's not... YouTube hates him apparently. He should be in those like really stupid clickbait ads. YouTube hates him, find out his secret. So today... there's stuff I need to do first actually, isn't there? Yes. Field 8. Plow. You're going from the nearest waypoint, which should be directly ahead of you. It's not. Stop. Okay, go from the nearest waypoint now. Nearest waypoint. Fine. It's just... it's... this course play driver's just gonna be a butt, isn't he? Go from the nearest waypoint now. There we go. And now we can do some bailing. Guys, leave YouTube alone, it's trying. Why am I ploughing in straw? Because I got 60 bales stored and there's too many bales for me to collect otherwise. I'm baling up the hay here because the cow needs hay. There's the cow. There's Bessie. Hey, Dal, Witchy. There we go, Truff. That'll work. Sell the straw. I've sold a bunch of bales. I'm actually storing. I'm gonna keep the straw that I have in storage. And I probably should have used the forage wagon. Come to think of it now, but it's too late. I've started ploughing that field. I'm not gonna stop now. How much money did I start with on day one? Like 3 grand. Start with however much or as little as you want. I started with 3 grand because that's what was left after I started buying things. "7 days in, I'm not in debt." I've been in and out of debt periodically. It really depends on like a few things. However, we are close to the 25,000 that I wanted. Because actually, was it 25,000? Or was it 28? Because I want to get this 25. We're about 500 short, so that's not too bad. So we will, for the next cycle of harvesting, have the quad stack, which is good. It's gonna mean a bit less hassle with the bales. Yeah, that's gonna be a good thing overall. Was your first time waiting for the stream to start? Very nice, FS Legend. So I've been watching, I've been up for a while, I've been watching WEC. I've been watching some Jimmy Broadbent. I'll probably go back to watching him after the stream. Really glad I don't have MR right now. Yeah, MR would make this a lot worse. And the reason that I don't use MR for the challenge is pretty much because MR is terrible. For doing anything that, like, it's just not a good mod. For me, at least. I'm sure there's some of you guys that like MR. I don't. It just makes me angry and stressy, and that's not a good thing. So I've been a busy bucko. So much so that I almost forgot to set up. Actually, I did forget to set up, so I just kind of started the stream and hey, we're streaming. Pigs are probably the way to go. I would say cows, Massey. Because you think about it, you're going to be growing crops anyway. You're going to be wanting to make money. And regular money. Hey, Nathan. What's the best way to make regular money? Well, it's cows, isn't it? Yeah, I'm not going to do this field again for Bales because it is a bit stupid. It is a bit derpy. Not unlike the baler, which is just pinging bales at me. Or out at the back. So that's the baling done. How's it going? It's going good. Pigs need crop, etc. Yeah. The best bet is cows. Because you're always going to have more grass than you need. So it makes sense to make silage. Makes sense to make hay as well. Nope. No auto refill, Massey. You gotta get your bags. Gotta use big bags of whatever description you want. Whether it's the in-game pallets, whether it's SOB's big bags, whether it's the teeny tiny bags off the mod hub, or whether it's Jolly Dodger's big bags. Personally, I'm gonna use Jolly Dodger's. It just they just agree with me quite nicely. They work really well with the Albert bag lifter. Which I realise is still at the shop, by the way. It's not been, I guess, put away yet. I am tempted to do a tiny edit to the map and just put a front loader tool rack somewhere. Maybe into this shed. Because I need somewhere to store my front loader tools. My room needs tidying up. It always needs tidying up. That's actually something I'm working on this weekend as well. I'm kind of doing a lot of multitasking this weekend. Let's get the 399 turned on. What's this challenge all about? Making farm sim fun for me, Hugh, basically. I got a steering wheel. I've always had a steering wheel paddle. For as long as you've been around, I've had a steering wheel. It's a bit rude saying my room needs to be tidied. I mean, it's true. It'd be rude if I just tidied it. Hey, EJ! How you doing today, dude? There's a weather change coming, and that elbow usually doesn't feel it. Nearly finished medical. Very nice, Nathan. It's my private area. Well, yeah, but it does need to be tidied quite badly. Different camera. Yeah, it's a slightly different camera angle. I'm sat lower down, so I've moved the camera lower. Which is why the mic is slightly higher up looking. You're the best of health. Very good, very good, very good, very good, very good. Just realized it's probably faster to do this. There we go. These bales are going to be stacked up nice and neatly. Wrong way. Maybe it's just party part. What massey do I have? This is the 390T. The other one, the one that's in the field currently, is the 399 Turbo. I also have the New Holland 11090 and the Ford TW35. Is fuel usage on normal? Absolutely. Good lord, why would I have anything else? Everything's set to normal, like difficulty even. I was gonna set it to hard, but then I realized no, because I'll constantly just be in debt that way. And Courseplay workers are being paid, by the way. Just in case you thought I was using Courseplay to save money. Nope, they're costing me. The turbo with the giant sticker. Sorry if you can hear a bit of background. Ooh, why is OBS janky today? Something's janking OBS. Hang on. I think I know what it is. Let's close these tabs down. That might have been the tab causing it. Let's close these and that. And these two, I guess, because I can go back to that later. Is that OBS going to be happy now? Maybe. Need to get the stream levels back up as well. Here we go. Us Combine, like to use. It's quite good. It's a bit weird in corners, but it's quite good. Yeah, I don't know why OBS is being a bit janky. Oh, that's why. I'm gonna guess what's to blame there is reshading. There's not a whole lot I can do until I've got that field plowed up. So we're gonna have to deal with janky frame rates for a little while. Because I don't think Reshade is quite liking the fact that I'm doing some work in the evening. Usually play in easy mode in real time only. That works. How's things? Missed yesterday's stream. Things are good. Streams are probably going to be a bit quiet this weekend because it is a bank holiday weekend here, so I'm guessing people have gone for a little weekend break and whatnot. Why not fast time? Were you asking me or Paddle? Some people prefer playing real time. I only really skip the nights. Or skip through time when I need to. Like, I'll be skipping through night here soon because it's not very YouTube friendly and it's apparently not very frame rate friendly. I will also like skip forward time when there's literally nothing to do, so there's stuff to do. I'm not fast timing because it'd screw up money. Basically, because I got a worker going and an account the worker is working through every hour. So once he's done, I'll be able to fast time. Also, it'd be kind of silly for me to be, you know, in a field stacking bales and the grass growing around me. So there's kind of two reasons there. My stacking is getting better. Well, I've been doing it enough the last few days. I hope it's getting better. Off back to revision. Enjoy. Crops don't grow quickly, realistically. It gives to do logging and other things while you wait. Yeah, that's true. But logging requires logging equipment, which I don't have. And can't really afford. I prefer to get more farming equipment first. Just wait for unloading the bales. You see, I've got a plan there as well, farming man. I'm going to make a run down to the shop with this thing in a minute. Because I'm going to buy something that I've just installed into the game, into this save today. There's been a mod added. Well, two. Actually, two DLCs added, I should say. So I've added Ropa for when the time comes to do potatoes and whatnot. Is unloading my weak point? I would say stacking is my weak point. And money management in game. You'll see that when I start buying things. I'll just be like, I've got exactly this much, I can buy exactly this. Might start the challenge. Yeah, I think there's a lot of people doing it on Facebook. I think this has become a kind of a thing in the Facebook community, which I'm not sure if I'm proud of or not. Considering how much I rail on the Facebook community. But I have heard of people doing it on Twitch. I've heard of one or two, including Traff, doing it on YouTube. Just got flashbacks to Landy's floating bale experience. That happens sometimes. I mean, you know, the game's gonna jank. I've just realised that light is pointing too low. I'm using, for those of you that don't know what on earth I just did, because it didn't look like it made much of a difference. I'm using my desk as a kind of a light booth. So I've got an LED light pointed into my desk. Hey, GD. And I'm using the two whiteboards in there to soften the light out. It works really well. My weak point, I guess if I have one, is that I keep flipping things. I was doing some practice on iRacing last night, and I found out that the spotter app I'm using is really, really sassy. Because I accidentally flipped a car, and I just heard it as soon as I'd finished rolling and landing. I just heard in my headset the spotter saying, "Try the other way up." I'm like, you ass! You absolute butt! That is so mean! Like, I've just had a massive crash and the spotter just goes, "Yeah, that wasn't the right way up." Do I use a wheel with iRacing? It's pretty much the only way to play it. There's some people use controllers, but the way that it controls, you pretty much need a wheel. And I did another race yesterday. I'm kind of limiting my racing at the moment because I need more practice than racing. You know, so seat time is the important thing for me, so I'm just entering practice sessions and doing offline testing to get to groups of the MX-5 again. Did a race last night. Started in, was it 9th in the number 5 car. And iRacing, the numbers are basically where the game expects you, or where the sim, for the people who might be watching who are big iRacing nerds and say, "Oh, it's a sim, it's not a game, it's a sim." It's where the sim kind of expects you to finish based on your iRating. And basically I finished 6th because I didn't die. I finished 6th by not crashing. Do iRacing with mouse and keyboard? No! Good brake pedals a must. Yes. You gotta be really comfortable with your brake pedal in iRacing. And really gentle on the throttle, because even the MX-5 likes to go in weird directions if you just thunderfoot it. I'll be honest, Farmer Man, I was expecting Glengar to be a lot closer. Because I did a race the night before last and finished pretty much last. The only guy behind me was a lap down. At least one lap down. So, I mean... Also, there's no messing about for me in iRacing, by the way. Other than my paint jobs, which some of you have seen the Mazda I drive. There's no messing around for me because it's all real people. It's all online, so... I actually take it quite seriously. Which makes it more fun in a way. Because I get kind of pre-race jitters and I'm quite nervous on the grid. And, you know, it's kind of fun. And one of my habits, it's maybe a bad habit to be in when I'm trying more for safety than finishing positions at the moment, is if somebody's coming behind me and is clearly faster, I'll just let them pass because I don't trust myself to race well at the moment and to overtake cleanly, especially not on the track they're at this week. Done any online races lately? Yesterday. The one I did yesterday was online. All iRacing races are online, Farming Man. Hello, Frederick. Hello to Norway. Do you have to map wheel controls for Farm Sim? I did. If you've got the Farm Sim wheel, the Logitech or the Cytec wheel, I don't think you do, but it's kind of a best course of action to learn how to map up controls and stuff. If you do have a wheel, because so many games just have weird wonky controls for wheels. Like even racing games and all that, sometimes the controls will just not be what you're comfortable with. Especially the person that flipped. I didn't flip anybody in that race. I got 2 incident points. I think it was 2 incidents. Both for kind of going a bit off track. I think one was a track extension because I took one corner too fast. Luckily I was out by myself at the time. One was for cutting a corner a bit much. That was my entire problems in the race. Let's get the ramp down. Load this up from the back. That'll straighten the 2 stacks of bales we got on there already. Or the 4 stacks of bales even. 2 lines. There we go. We've got room for 5 more bales, and I don't know how many are left in the field. Yeah, the IRSR system in iRacing is probably the best. I know is it GT Sport is the new Gran Turismo is using something similar. Project Cars is using something similar. They're both using kind of a safety rating system. The dual system that iRacing uses is definitely better with the licenses, and the better your license, the faster car you can drive. Try not strapping the bales down and driving. How about no? Did I stream twice today? Nope. Also, you saw yesterday's archive go up, I think. Because I forgot to put it up last night, and I remembered earlier on this afternoon I remembered that I forgot and I put it up. If that makes sense. Do I play Assetto Corsa? Sometimes. Right now I'm kind of focusing on iRacing to get my... I want to say get my feet kind of back into the groove and get my arms worked up properly, because I did about 4 hours last night and my arms were destroyed at the end of it. Mainly driving an MX, mainly driving one car at one circuit. Which might surprise you guys, some of you, that I did something like that. Day 6. Yeah, that was yesterday's stream, Mossy. That was the archive from yesterday. I forgot to put it up. Still want to be a B class. I'm still D class paddles, so I mean. And I'm trying to get rid of 2.5 years of rust at the moment, so I'm driving rookie Mazda. Hence I'm able to come 6th in the race by not dying. I saw a wonderful crash last night. I'm not going to name names because I can't remember them. But the 2 guys in front of me, one was, I think, B or D or C class. One was like A class, and I don't know how, because the guy who was in A class had an A license. I think it was A or B. Number 1, he was slow, so he was like an incredibly safe driver most of the time, apparently. And but not very fast. There was a wonderful battle going on ahead of me that I was kind of watching from 3 seconds down the road. Went onto the main straight, and here's the 2 cars basically side slamming each other. I went into the replay afterwards, and the guy with the higher license was just weaving everywhere. Oh my god, he was... his racecraft needed a lot of work. But he was blaming the guy that he hit, because of course he was. That's the stuff that happens in iRacing. It's like you have a crash, it's always the other person's fault. I'm 1 bale too many, so we got 1 bale more than I actually need here. or I guess one more bale more than fit on the trailer, which isn't. Actually, that's not even a bad thing, because I can bring down the last bale, or bring the last bale over to the yard with this. It's amazing how quick the front runners in A-Class are. I used to, back in my last stint in 2016, I actually won a couple of Mazda races. And I was almost 1.4k I rating, which isn't good. But for somebody like me who isn't very good anyway, that was a really good I rating. I think maybe we should stop talking about iRacing because people are leaving. People have decided they don't want to listen. See, the problem here is once I got the bale stack, there's nothing else I can do in this game, this in-game day. So I might take over the ploughing. Although the New Holland, by the looks of it, the Fiat, is doing headlands now. You're scared of my racing skills. Hang on, I thought there was one bale more than would fit in the trailer. Suddenly a bale's disappeared or something? Oh no, it's over. I'm stuck in a fence. I'm trying to decide what to do. Ooh, that was autosave, I think. This is a really janky frame rate. It's actually being covered up. I just noticed the frame rate's being covered up by the latest subs and whatnot, which is, I guess, a good thing. I'm not sure. Right. Plans. I don't know if I said this. Sorry if there's any background noise today. I've got my window open because it has been super stuffy in here the last few days, and I need to have a window open. If you are enjoying the stream, like Witchy said, hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't already. Let's get that out of there. There we go. 1 strap, 2 strap, 3 strap, 4 strap, 5 strap, 6 strap, 7 strap. Let's get the spare bale out of the field first. I'm gonna place it in a bit of an odd spot because I need to do some stuff as well. I want to get the stacked spike on the go. And that's just in an awkward spot in and of itself. Come on, get on the, no, that's. That's not being very helpful, Bale. Let's get this up onto the flat so that it's not flying everywhere. Oh, the Massey did not. Well, I guess it's two-wheel drive. Massey was not impressed by that. Every time, I don't even pay attention to people's icons. I read names and look at what people are saying. That's all I do with chat. I don't care about the icons. So, if people change their icon every day, I probably wouldn't notice. Why? Because Witchy is incredibly vain. Ain't that right, Witchy? Gonna get shouted at later for that probably, but oh well. No, don't come off the spikes. Don't come off the spikes. You're welcome, Witchy. I never noticed your icon. I'll be honest, Farming Man, I just see like a dark circle. Just want to check, so you can see I do have the thingy in. It's this grab I want. That has normal bale spikes as well, doesn't it? So I think what I'm going to do is, and I know that I've just spent 4,500 that I wanted to spend on something else, but that's fine. I'm going to actually have to make a second trip down to the shop with this thing later on. And I actually have to bring the 399 with me as well on that occasion, because I'll need to pick up some big bags. It's a semi-truck at night. All I can see is black. That's like, I just see this dark colored circle. I'm gonna just tap out real quick. So lose control here for a second while I do this. Get this up, get... Where is it? This up. Get that up. Why didn't I lease it? Because I want to keep it. Here's the thing: is like I'm trying to avoid leasing stuff if I can. Oops, if I can. Yours is half black, half white for me, Mossy. Keep in mind, I'm looking at my screen at an angle, so you know that's something you got to keep in mind. If I was set like, no, it's still just like half dark, half light. Almost exactly. So well done on that one. Let's get this down here. Plonk it down. Sell that off, so we got money from that back at least. I must have my brightness down a lot. I've got it so the whites are white. I've got my brightness and pretty much everything's set up so that everything's consistent on a piece. I've approached this from the back, from the front. This does have, like, a spike that comes down, doesn't it? Yes, it does. Fantastic. So this can be a standard bale spike as well if I want. What Festralister speeder do I have? What? Suppose they do, Paddle. Mine's just like RainbowDave Gaming with a rainbow in the background, though. I don't know what that says about me. But I'm colourful? I'm vain? Colourful and vain? It's B to... How do I operate this thing? Okay. This is probably going to lift up the rear end of the Massey, but it should be fine because I got 1.2 tons on the back. Unless in true BM modding fashion, this thing is stupid heavy. I am all the colors of the rainbow. How do I... I made sure I had no notifications on Facebook when I started streaming. 40 minutes later, I've got 2. Probably both from my friend Connor, who seems to like messaging me at inopportune times. Right, the hay bales are going to go over this side of the shed. Let's get back into the 399. Bring the ramps up. Get back over to the yard. I could cut through the cow yard, but I'm not going to. Ooh, something over there is making my frame rate unhappy. I do need to refuel this thing as well, because I'll be using probably this and the Ford quite heavily in the near future. I actually want to mow field 4 to get more hay bales together as well. Because I believe I'll need more than one trailer load of hay bales. Let's just pull this up over here. Like that. Only 2 cars are tired at Spa. The GT, well, the GT was going to have to with the way that it was. I mean, I'm no expert, but I do believe Ford GTs do need the front wheels to actually work. And ideally, you know, the rest of the front end as well. So that was kind of, as soon as it hit the wall where it did, it was out of the race. I'm just glad the driver got out okay, because that was a big hit. One of the worst hits you can get, probably in the WEC. That's about as good as I'll get with this. 13,500 litres of hay on the grab right now. And now we get to find out how the Massey behaves with 3 bales. It actually behaves quite well. Actually, that's actually perfect. So this isn't going to be a problem, apart from the fact that I knocked a bale off. Which is actually kind of convenient because I only want these stacked 5 high because the Massey can only reach 5 high. Has any new DLC come out the last 4 months? Were you around before Ropa came out? There is DLC on the way. Maddox GS is a DLC coming out soon. I genuinely don't know about the FSI Teams one. Though from what I've been hearing, the news isn't looking good from the FSI camp at all. It's looking like they have doubts themselves over whether they'll get it done. Dog, yes, there's a dog barking because there's always a dog barking next door. I think it's 2 doors down. Yeah, the news from the FSI team camp doesn't, from what I've been hearing, seem good. So let's get these 2 bales. Hey Dan, how you doing today, dude? Ignore the janky frame rate, that's the game, not the stream. Guys. The game's being janky because it's evening time and it's not happy. Massey's being janky because I knocked up on 2 wheels and it's not happy. Doing good? Good to hear. There we go. Hang on, can I reach higher with this bale fork all of a sudden? No. Game says no to that idea. Totally not playing games. Oh, totally. Why would you play games? One minor criticism of these Massies is they don't have a self-leveling loader. It's kind of annoying having to manually level it out after every movement. There we go. How many deep did I do that side? 4? 4 or 5 deep. 1, 2, 3, 4, I think? Hey, Bucko. How's the performance going? It's all good over here, dude. How's it going with you? Let's get the spikes out. We're gonna manually stack a couple of bales up. This is a straw down spike, yep. It's nice that you can, if you want to, manually stack as well with this thing, instead of having to do the triple stack. And they are just a grab. They don't magically, you know, auto stack the bales, so as far as I'm concerned, it's above board. Okay, let's take the spike off. Just shove that in like that. Spike back on. Only stopping by for a minute, you're off out. I think a lot of people are thinking the same thing. It's a lovely day outside here, and it's a bank holiday weekend, so I wouldn't be too surprised if there's a lot of people outside and gone to the beach or something. I say it's lovely outside. I am wearing a jumper, because I like wearing a jumper. Makes me feel more comfortable. Let's get this stacked up. Any use for cattle and crops or other farming games? Cattle and crops I've not really been following all that much. One like, is that it? Dang it, Dan. Pure farming has effectively failed. It's on... If you really want it, guys, it is on like 63 or something % off on Instant Gaming at the moment. So you can follow my affiliate link in the description below and get it for super cheap. But I think it's basically Dovetail kind of admitting, or is it Dovetail? No, it's the devs basically admitting the game's failed. When it goes on that big of a discount anywhere, and it's 33% off on Steam if you don't want to trust Instant Gaming. It's on a heavy discount and has been quite consistently now for a couple of weeks. As this, what the crap? 21 likes? That's a bit more like it. Playing the Destroyer of Worlds. It's a bit of an odd, random thing to be talking about, but okay. Is this the one with orchards? Or is Pure, the one with the orchard? Yes. And Farmer's Dynasty, or Dynasty, or whatever you want to call it. I did a bit of reading last night, bit of looking up, bit of research, I guess, if you want to call it that. And it seems that's still, well, it's still not available on Steam. It's still down from the DMCA they got. So that game's in a lot more trouble than the devs are willing to admit, and they're not even updating people on the reason that it's not available to purchase anymore. They are still working on the game though. They've not given up on it. But there's no like updates on when it'll be available to purchase again. Is everyone still playing it? I wouldn't be too surprised if everybody who was playing it, Bucko, has given up on it because of the DMCA thing. It's dangerous territory to play a game that's got DMCA'd from somebody else, because you don't know if your content is going to get DMCA'd as well. So like anybody who I've seen playing it and who I speak to, I have warned and told to basically avoid Farmer's Dynasty like the plague, because nobody really knows what'll happen with that. Well, yeah, it's not a good look for your channel if you knowingly are playing a game that has got a DMCA takedown. The feed's finished. Good. As soon as we got this done, these bales stacked up, we can fast forward through to the next day and get started seeding. Hello, Eddie! Stranglehold Farm Sim 17 has. But the thing is, Paddle, is Farm Sim's kind of, I don't want to say got the formula right, but it's kind of made the formula for a farming game. Cattle and Crops is trying to change it by being hyper realistic. Pure Farming tried to change it by doing some completely different stuff, which is cool. Unfortunately, the business model, not too happy with, and the game just wasn't visually striking. And unfortunately, with farming games do kind of have to be visually striking to appeal to people. What else is out there that hasn't really worked in the farming simulation world? You got Farm Expert, which again has some cool ideas, but just doesn't seem to work very well overall. You got Farm Manager, which I don't know how that's doing, but it's an interesting idea, but really badly optimized. Agrisim, the less said about Agrisim, the better. So I'm gonna have to manually select the rest of the, well, some of the rest of these, because it decided to go a bit walkabout and fall over. Yeah, Farm Sim's got the model for the arcade guys, which is gonna be casual play, console, and guys who normally farm, usually guys who farm in real life. Are the Agrisims bad? I tried playing Agrisim on this computer, Massey, and this is a really quite good computer. I didn't get 60 FPS. It's physically impossible to get 60 FPS with that game. Unless, I guess, maybe if you got 4 Titans and a... You know, I was jokingly linking a £27,000 PC to somebody the other day. Maybe, if you had that PC, you might get 50 FPS in Agrisim. Not a very... It was not a very well optimized game when it came out, and the optimization seems to have only got worse with time for some reason. I say that as I'm getting a pretty solid 30 FPS in Farm Sim, because I think Reshade's having a bit of a spaz. You won't look at that game ever again. Yeah, don't, because either it janks its way around at 4 FPS or it crashes. That's the agri-sim experience in a nutshell. So if you want to get the agri-sim experience, play Farm Sim on literally a potato, and just keep closing the game down, and you'll get the full agri-sim experience. Take the spikes off real quick because I want to push these bales in a bit. There we go. Not in the mood to watch Buffer Simulator because potato internet. That's fine, farming man. Was the core gameplay good? Not really. It had inherent problems. Let's see. Yes, I did, Bucko. I actually sent it to Bullet Bill and Oxygendavid and all the guys on the Frontier Slack. Because I noticed what map he was on. I thought they might be interested in seeing that themselves. Can I grab both of these? Fantastic! And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how to stack bales quickly and easily. Completely unintentional. Farm Sim even commented on it. I mean, they were going to. He's one of the bigger farming channels on YouTube. Him showing off the game is kind of a good ad for the game. Yeah, any game that he plays is going to look good to people who are interested in farming but don't know what game to get. Gotta love homemade curry. I actually had a curry for breakfast. This is the way that I live. Let me live my life. From Tesco. I think it was from Tesco. Was it from Tesco? Yeah, it's from the Tasty range. It was quite nice. That was not a medium curry. That was a very mild curry. Sorry, I just had to look at the wrapper again. It said, oh, this is a medium curry. Oh, that was mild. Very full of flavour, though. I can technically grab 4 bales of this, which is good. If ever I want to grab 4 bales. Right, next job time. Next job is actually going to be putting the bale spike away, putting the bale trailer away. We won't be needing these for a little while, so I'll put this down here. This is going to be my front loader equipment storage. So I can sit there and I'll just reverse this in over here. Pick up planks at the back. Dad made yours from scratch. That's pretty sweet, dude. We'll get this into that shed there. Like that'll do. And actually, the 399 can just sit here. Now I need to get the New Holland 11090. Stop. Close the course. Gonna call that field as good as done. It's quite sweet. It is quite. That's not what I meant, but okay. So, next job on the agenda is fast forward through till morning. And then the real work begins. You reckon we'll have a JCB 4220 after John's watching the video? I don't know. I mean, we might in FS19. They have not confirmed nor denied anything for FS19 yet, so you never know. As I slam into a wall. I'm trying to decide what the next job should be. I think the best course of action. Hey Fabio, how am I? I'm doing good. How are you? I think the best course of action is to put the plow away. There was 9. Yeah, maybe. It's impossible to know at this point in time. Oh, I might have to reset that tether, because that is stuck at a really awkward angle to do anything with. Plow away, hold off through till morning. There we go. The frame rate's still janky as hell. I'm gonna be right back in a second. I need to go run, do something real quick. I'll be back in like 2 minutes. And I'm back. Told you only be a couple of minutes, as OBS janks heavily. So, plan for this in-game day. Wow, OBS janked heavily. Might need to revisit some of my streaming settings, I think. The 110 is going to go back up to Field 8. Any news from the DLC winners? There'll be news about mats soon, I believe. As for FSI, last I heard the news wasn't sounding too good from their camp, but I don't really have any contact with the FSI team at all, so I can't say anything one way or another. But mats, we should expect news soon, TM, from Giants, and I'll be sure and let you guys know when there's an update. If there's like a video or picture, it'll be up on my social media, probably Landy's social media, Sim's social media, VF's social media, it'll be everywhere. So I need to generate a course here for Field 8. Starting location current, headland 5 after the fact. Island, circle, and we should be good to go. By the looks of it, I need to be very aware that crops can and will just wither and die overnight. So, I'll save this as cultivate. Set that to field 8. First waypoint, off you go. We, however, have a date with the 399. Our class structures will be FS19. Is that true? I don't know. Bucko, I don't watch farm sim videos. That's something I thought you guys knew. Is like something that a lot of us have in common. Is we'll watch streams and we'll hang out in streams and we'll chill out. But when it comes to videos, no, because free time is better spent away from farm sim for a lot of YouTubers who do farm sim a lot. Because otherwise I'd get burnt out. Landy would just be angry all the time. And it just wouldn't be fun for anybody. It's nothing against, you know, VF or pretty much anybody who makes videos. You know, if I've got something to show off to Landy that's in a video, I'll send him a link that's timestamped or something. The same, like, for him going to me is like, oh, could you just check the start of this, or could you check this specific bit, or have a look at this, or have a look at that. And that's how we do it. It makes life easier, so we're not watching, you know, constantly watching farm sim, or constantly engaged in farm sim, because so the dog's in my house. No, it's not. It might be the neighbor's dog. They've got a new little puppy. Their old dog died a couple of months ago now, and they got a brand new little puppy. I think he's a rescue dog. 180 fuel costs. Okay, I need to keep that in mind. It's gonna be about 200 to refuel any tractor, so I'll need to keep 200 on hand at minimum at all times. Plus whatever I spend, you know, hiring out Courseplay to do the fields. I think Farm Sim's gone and tweaked my graphics settings again. That or OBS has reset something, which is just as likely. But I have to have a look at what's using my PC up. So we're not going to do field 7 again. That's too janky of a field to do. What we're going to do instead is we're going to come down to field 4, and despite the fact that it's huge, it's going to be a good thing. It's a bonus for us. Hey, Dusty Dave! Field 4 is a good thing. It's basically will allow us to get all the hay we need. And if I could figure out how much crop I need. No, it's not R to open the gates, Dave. Genuinely got out and pressed R, thinking refill would open the gates. Let's not get jammed on the gates, please. Here we go. Let's close the gate again behind us, like a good farmer. Get the moors unfolded, front moor on, rear moor on, down, and down, and away we go. This is a field we can fertilise, so we will be fertilising it in the future. This first cut should put down one layer of fertilisation onto it, which definitely is good. fact that it's unfertilized actually stands to benefit us right now, because we don't have much to do. Or we don't need too many bales, so... Unfertilized grass, good idea for now. I'm going to be using the... Is it the sip? I have... Whatever the... little hay bob thingy I've got is. We'll be using that to both Ted and rake the field. It's a dual purpose machine, so we'll be using it as such. So efficiency is, you know, a good thing on this map. We need to have machinery that can do more than one job in an ideal world. I just forgot. Somehow I managed to forget just how wonky the map borders of Sandy Bay actually are. I'm so used to the likes of Oakfield and Lone Oak and the West Coast, where the map borders are near seamless. The jankiness of the old style really kind of stands out quite a lot now. That's not a slide on Oxy. He's, you know, with Oakfield he really upped the game, but the jankiness of the old style really looks bad. Oh, not a good look now. There's a lot of people. There's like 30 people here, but nobody talking. I might end up ending this stream a bit early because while you know this is fun, it's no fun me talking to myself and trying to come up with things to say for the next hour. You try talking to yourself for an hour and see how far you get, because that's the way streaming goes when chat decides to go silent. Where is everyone? I'd love to know. I think they all fell asleep or something. I'm not entirely sure. You're watching WEC. Well, yeah, they might well be out in the sun. I don't blame them if they are. Who's leading the best of the rest in the prototypes? I'm guessing it's the two rebellions still. Hello, Deutschman. Or Deutschman. You. Which doesn't like the sun. Well, that's what you get for being a vampire, Witchy. This is going to take a little while with this more, I've just realised. The SMP crashed. Yeah, but wasn't it? From memory, when I was watching and last time I saw the score, the leaderboard, it was Toyota, Rebellion, and then the SMP was behind the Rebellion, is it not? Also, where exactly did the SMP crash? Because, like, if it was Blanchimont or Eau Rouge, that would have been a massive accident. If it was somewhere like No Name or Pouan or Piff Paff, not so much. If it was the bus stop, shame on them. You're a witch, not a vampire. You can be both. There's no rule saying witches can't be vampires and vampires can't be witches. Cressa or Rouge, right? As well! That's the third car this weekend that's had that exact crash. Was it the same as the Ford or the whatever prototype it was died yesterday? WEC might have to look, well, the FIA might have to look into something to try and slow the cars down through Eau Rouge, apparently, because 3 cars having the same accident suddenly isn't so much of an accident. I just hope that the F1 guys don't get screwed over and have a random chicane just before Eau Rouge this year. Or even worse, a speed limit. Hello, Glengar. How are you today, Glengar? How is life? Are you enjoying the sunshine? Ended up backwards. Oh, it's fun. That's even worse. You can't do that to Spa. That's what they said about Imola. And Monza. Look how that turned out. I haven't decided yet what I'm going to do next weekend. There's a part of me that wants to just take the weekend off and watch the Nürburgring 24. You're going to have a barbecue in a bit. Very nice. I think I'm having takeaway today. Because screw cooking. According to my mother. Yeah, OBS is janking quite heavily today, and I don't know why. I haven't changed the settings from yesterday at all, it's just decided to be extra janky. Okay, I'm gonna have to stop up and see what's taking all my CPU. It is Google Chrome. Why is Google Chrome taking so much CPU? Let's get a few more tabs closed. Just been to see a naval ship. Which one? I've seen the... It's either the Aoife or the Ethna. I think it was the Ethna. That Pottinger is not making a happy sound. The Ethna! Where's that moored up at the moment? Hey, Farming Maniac. What have you missed? An hour and 18 minutes of the stream. We finished doing hay bales. We finished baling the hay. We stacked them up. They're all in the shed now. And now we're basically doing more. We're going to be making more hay in this field. And I think I'm going to split this field right down the middle, half hay, half silage, because this is going to be way too much hay otherwise. Limerick City. Oh, very nice. Hey, Jag, by the way. Apparently one of the tabs I had open in Google Chrome was very unhappy, because now the stream's running at 60... The game's still janking down a bit, but... So it's the stream if I look in the wrong direction. Hey, VF. Riverfest, ah! Congrats on the invite to the Frontier Slack, by the way. Be aware the stuff said in there is private, so... If you haven't already been told, the stuff that's said in there doesn't come out of there unless... it's brought up by Bill or Roxy, basically. VF moving up in the world, exactly. At this point, the Frontier Slack is just like the public faces of the community. What's the bottom using that makes the game look different? It's called Reshade. It's a shader pack, effectively. You're always Desert. Or Desket. Oh, discreet. Another E at the end, VF. I think. I've seen like 5 different spellings of it, so I don't think anybody can spell that damn word. I know I can't. Every time I spell it, it's spelled differently. My room is getting super stuffy. I might have to open up the main window. Good lord. We'll do that after the stream. Plans for this map going forward. Obviously we're doing some more hay and silage. We're going to split field 4 right down the middle once we've got the mowing done. Or roughly down the middle. I'm not going to get it exact. I'm not going to go measure it. You know, I'm not going to go out with a measuring tape and make sure it's correct down to the millimeter. No, I'm just going to kind of roughly guess and send the tenor down the middle. Been nervous about posting it. I don't blame you. I've got back into iRacing the last couple of days, Dusty, and oh, I forgot the nerves before a race. Even though it's virtual and online, I forgot the nerves. Because I was sat waiting for my the qualifying before my race to end last night, and I was just kind of breathing deeply and trying everything I could, or doing everything I could do to calm myself, because I was getting really bad jitters. You're watching Farmy Things, very nice, Asthmatic Hedgehog. No penalty for the 7 for overtaking under yellow under safety car. I did say that it's rigged for Toyota this year, Yanis, which is a bit of a shame. Do you know, if Sandy Bay were a real place, this would probably be the kind of equipment you'd likely, well, if it was a real place in Ireland for sure, this is probably what you'd see doing this field. Or something similar. Any new maps coming out? There's always new maps coming out, Farming Maniac. Currently, work in progress is Lone Oak Farm by Bullet Bill, which is just amazingly detailed. It's gonna be possibly the best American map Farm Sim has ever seen. And from the Oxygendavid camp, the Oxygendavid side of Frontier Designs, you have Shamrock Valley, which is a few months out still, but looks stunning. Absolutely stunning. It is an Irish map that I'm not going to complain about for once. It's a miracle. I'm not going to find too many problems with this map, I think. Oxy's been kind of engaging with as many people as he can find that are Irish to get feedback on like things that he's thinking about and information to make sure everything's as correct as he can get it in game. And it's an Irish map done with the skill of a good mapper, the attention to detail of a fantastic mapper, and something that all too many Irish maps forget: compromises to suit the game. So there will be some stuff that I'm sure somebody will say, oh, that's wrong because the roadways are too wide and too open and all this kind of stuff, and no, that's the way the game has to happen. Otherwise you'd never be able to get anything down them. If you're enjoying the stream, by the way, hit the like button, don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. You know, Ireland, this map should be great. Looking at it, Army Assassin, it is Irish. It is an Irish map. I'm kind of tempted to tell Oxy the name of the place that I used to go that the village reminds me of so much. Because it could kind of be beautiful for me personally to have that village, even though it's like horrifically not like the village I went on holiday to every year. That's barely a village, it's just kind of a townland. That happens to have a beach. It'd be kind of awesome to have that in the game. See ya, Hedgehog. But that is a map that I'm 110% looking forward to. It just almost gives me the chills to look at it. Gives me a nice... It simultaneously gives me the chills and a nice warm feeling inside because it feels... It looks right and it kind of gives you all the right feelings for Irish seaside. All I'm missing is the smell of the salt water. I guess here's what I never went to a beach in England when I was there, so I don't know. Plus, this is based on south of England. I only went to the north, so I don't know how true to life this would be. Sandy Bay. Is anyone still playing Oakfield? A few people, but both myself and Landy think the community's kind of done with Oakfield at the moment. It's revisiting time because there's nothing really that strikes our interest, and people seem to be tiring of Oakfield as a regular thing. Hence why I'm on Sandy Bay, he's on Thornton. We both decided to revisit Oxy maps already. It's been out for a couple of months. Well, I do let's play on Meadowgrove. Yes, probably. I actually do want to get a second map on the go. And unfortunately, I learned today that I won't actually be able to return to videos this week. If I'd known something, or if I'd known this in advance, I would be able to. But my sister's working 4 nights this week, so I won't be able to record this week at all. I guess I could at night, but it would be really inconvenient for me. When did it come out? It came out a couple of months ago, Massey. And the community's super ADHD this year. Or this game. So maps are kind of burning out a lot faster. I guess it's... My best guess is because it's oversaturation from people on YouTube just playing the newest map all the time. Constantly. So, I mean, it's bound to happen. You know, people like Landy, Sim, and Dagwin get a bit of an advantage in that they get early access to maps. And fingers crossed, you know, people like me and VF might start getting a few more maps early access as well. You guys know that I do have Lone Oak. I'm not going to be making videos on that until it's out. Because, basically Bill wants the guys known for American maps and stuff to do videos on that, and that's perfectly fine by me. I'll just sit and look at how pretty it is and be in awe. Hey, Farming Simulator 2017. I think I'm doing pretty well with the yeah, we're getting through this field a lot faster than I thought. I'm kind of surprised. I was expecting this to take almost twice as long as it seems to be taking, so... A pleasant surprise is a good surprise. And we're not missing much either, you know, we're getting it this quite neatly. Also, something that I've done recently is I've updated the Big M, because I never did update it to the new version that lays down swaths, or lays down, like, grass, flat thing. Nice fleet of American stuff. Yeah, I'm probably not going to use too many American mods, because there's not many American mods out there, but I'm going to try and America it up. On Lone Oak. To be honest, I kind of... Usually when I see a map, I'll be able to come up with like starter equipment pretty easily. Lone Oak I'm kind of... I'm struggling with. I don't know what would fit the map very well. it may well be that I start off with much bigger equipment than usual. Shamrock Valley, I know that I'll start with small stuff like this. That is 100%. Yeah, Shamrock Valley, I am going to start with really small stuff. See a Farming Maniac? Because, I mean, Ireland, I'm going to use stuff that I've seen and do see regularly. So we'll be doing everything on a small scale over there, which should be interesting. Should be a map that suits smaller equipment pretty well. Unlike Sandy Bay, this is horrendously inappropriate equipment for Sandy Bay, especially on this field. But it, you know, it's working. It's doing what it should be doing. And the field is looking nice and neat and tidy as well, so that's kind of an added bonus. Now when the New Holland's finished working, I'm gonna... I mean, I could have the TW out doing this already, but I need to get seeds first. I'm gonna have to go down to the shop with this 399 and the bale trailer as it currently is, with the low loader, as well as the 390. I'm gonna get the Albert fork loaded up into the 390 because we're gonna need that, and we will load up some big bags. I'm using Johnny Dodger's big bags. You actually use that phrase, Dave.
I'm sorry, Dave. I'm afraid I can't do that.
For shame. Spin in. There we go. Did I accidentally loosen my wheel just then? I heard something go pwang, which is not a good sound. So we're almost done with the mowing at the very least. Probably mowing. I'm aware this morning. I'm just doing this my way. This is the way that I do it. Because it's a bit easier for me to just go around in circles. And commonly in Ireland, you'll see this on funky looking fields, as you'll see guys mowing circles, because it is just easier. It's slightly more efficient as well. Because you're not having to, you know, reverse and turn around at the end of every pass. It's just keep the unmown stuff to your right in this case and keep going around. Keep the mowed grass to your left, I guess. Will work too. Fiat's still going good in field 8, which is positive. I've just realized I actually need to fertilize the fields as well, don't I? That's a thing I'll need to keep in mind. So I do only have a small fertilizer spreader, and I do need to get... It is faster my way, and the only reason that farmers generally tend to go up and down is because it's easier to make rows out of it. It's easier to windrow, and you're not running over rows, windrowing or tedding or anything. Obviously in farms that doesn't matter, so you just do it whatever way is fastest and most efficient, which is circle mode. I know definitely for silage guys will just mow in circles, because you just basically run a windrow over it afterwards, and especially for silage bales it's usually a lot easier. We are getting about as much out of this field as we possibly can, good lord. This is the neatest I've mowed in a long, long time. I say that as I make an absolute hames of getting into the field or getting into the grass that time. This is looking good. I'm now starting to try and figure out how exactly do I split this field in half. I'm thinking of using a tree as a reference, because I'll need some sort of reference point. I'm thinking of using the second tree there of these three as a reference point, the middle tree. It should be roughly half and half. Yeah. He says hopefully. We'll just start going up one side and down the other here, because it's getting a bit tight to turn. Yeah, that second tree looks like it might be roughly middle, and if I get more hay than silage, that's not really a bad thing. I actually want a bit more hay than I want silage, because I've already got a field's worth of silage in. What's up? We're doing more kind of prep for getting more animals. Because once we get this... Once we get the fields sorted out for step 1 fertilizer and crops, if we've got money left over, without selling crops, we'll buy as many cows as we can, basically. And I want to start getting the cows fed and watered and all that kind of stuff, so hence why I'm doing so much hay at the moment. I want to try and load up the hay into the shed as much as I can. $165 more hay, Bob. I mean, the mowers I'm using are tiny. These are the smallest mowers I could find on the mod hub. So they are tiny, absolutely tiny, but I love them. I'm wondering if just going straight from the gate might be an idea. No, that's not. If I go straight up from the gate, that should actually roughly split the field in half. That might well work in my favor. Now just you wait until you see what piece of equipment I've got to ted with. This is not the tedder we were using. New Holland's still working well in Field 8. Still got a lot to do though. Bike is over. Ford 1 GT Pro. I wouldn't even count that as a surprise, Yanis. They tend to do pretty well on fast tracks. Ford has a straight line advantage over Ferrari in WEC. In much the same way that I'd expect Audi to come out on top of the GT3 class in the Nürburgring 24 next weekend. If you're just joining, wondering what on earth I'm talking about with Fords and Audis and WEC and Nürburgring, I am a big motor racing fan, as is Yanis, and we're talking motorsports because it is fun. It is a fun thing to watch, fun thing to observe, especially balance of performance racing. Formula 1 tends to be a bit dull. Balance performance racing, endurance racing tends to be pretty good because the cars are theoretically equal across a lap. And they tend to do pretty good with the Le Mans balance of performance, and same with the Nürburgring 24. Yeah, that's gonna have to be fixed. I'm gonna have to pick that up with the 390. I think should be able to flip it back up the way that I want it. Because I don't have a pallet fork at the moment, I'm going to have to use the Bales spike, which is a bit hideously oversized for this job, but it'll do. Can I lift you up, please? Because I want to skid you out a bit more. Can I... Ooh, is this going to work? Can I skid you out like... Yes, perfect. Fantastic. And now for the flip. Okay, that would have worked had I actually fixed tines properly. Or with the tines. Ferrari got third and then front right was gone. Gone as in gone, or gone as in tire was a bit too worn? Here we go, gently does it. So we got about 20 minutes left in the stream, guys. Light goal for today. Tires worn out, couldn't defend. Oh, okay. The light goal for today is about let's say 50. Let's be hopeful. So if you haven't liked the stream yet, please, if you're enjoying it, do so now. This is, I think this is in tedding mode. Unfold belt rake. And shift X to use it as a tether. So we'll just lift it up. It's ready to be used now, which is always good. Back over the field before we go at the highest speed we possibly can. 42 likes, 2 dislikes, 3 watching. So we're only 8 likes away. Come on, guys. You can do this. You got 20 minutes. We can do this. We can 100% get 50 likes today. We got closed yesterday without really trying. We can do it today with some trying. As I struggle to talk because I forgot to breathing. There was literally some English in there somewhere. Let's go in and let's call this a straight line. Which way is the belt gonna go? Perfect. So the left hand side of the field is gonna be hay. The right hand side of the field is gonna be silage. So we'll just head this bit over here. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna turn around and start windrowing the silage first. This is a very wonky straight line, but it's very wonky indeed, but it'll do for our purposes here. Sewage. And using this on Ballycraig, it is a nice little piece of machinery. Let's get this into windrower mode. Why isn't it wanting to left shift X? There we go. Hello, seam. So I'm going to windrow this bit over because I'm going to have to TED the other side and it's going to go a bit wonky if I don't do this. So I'm just going to windrow in a kind of a buffer zone here. Because otherwise everything's going to go wrong and the world will end. Or, you know, I'll end up with hay on the side of the field. I don't want hay. Next week race is Le Mans. Yep. Round 2 of the season, Le Mans. Then they're off to another few races this year. And then in January it's off to Sebring for the 1,600 miles or something like that. It's a really weird number. For the Sebring race, it's basically going to be a 12-hour. But they couldn't use the 12-hour name because Sebring 12-hour has that copyrighted. I think I made a mistake. I've just realised I could have just double windrowed or double TEDed this side, couldn't I? Because that's exactly what I'm about to do. I'm going to double TED here. I'm going to end up with a super windrow on this side of the field here, but that's going to be fine because it gives us a bit of a buffer zone. And we're going to spin around and start doing our tethered headlands, which are the best kind of headlands. And then at the end we'll come around just once and kind of clean things up. So we're going to TED this up and windrow at the same time. In fact, I need to windrow one headland around just to get things away from the hedge. So let's do that right now. Might have to do a second headland around some areas, but you've just eaten and you're about to explode, Eddie. Don't do it here, please. Silverstone, Fuji, Shanghai. Shanghai does not sound like a track that'll suit well, Fuji does, because super long straight to overtake the GTEs, but Shanghai, yeah. Actually, even Fuji is a bit questionable. That's a really short track, despite the 1.5 mile long straight, or 1.5 kilometers long. I apologize. This is going to take a while with this tether, isn't it? This may have been a mistake. This field of this tether might well have been a mistake. But it's too late to change now. Probably helps if we close the gates. Next year Sebring, Span, Le Mans, and then they start the... They actually start the 2019-2020 season after that, don't they? After Le Mans, they actually keep going next year into the next season. Because the FIA and WEC want Le Mans to be the end of the season. So they're doing a couple of really wonky years to get into the... That's why the Super Season's a thing, by the way. For those of you that watch WEC, they actually want Le Mans to be the last race of the season, so they're doing a season that lasts a year and a half. so they can get into their 1 season per year ish schedule. This is just super wonky. I am bad at this. So this is going to be the last headland in this direction. Well, not the last, maybe the last headland. Last headland on this windrow in this direction, I guess. Because the whole point of me doing this is just to get the hay away from the hedge. Because it flings it slightly farther than it is wide, so this needs to happen. And then we'll start tending inwards a bit. Or tending outwards a bit even. So that'll do there. Let's lift the tether up. Supercross final Las Vegas tonight. We'll do Interlagos. I thought Interlagos was part of the WEC already. Because it was a couple of years ago. When I paid a bit more attention to the championship. For whatever reason. So they took it out of the championship and now they're thinking of putting it back in. In fact, it is still a race, I think. Are you missing a race there, Yanis? I think you're missing the Interlagos race. Because I distinctly remember an Audi, I think it was, going backwards into the wall at the last corner. Definitely a prototype. Just deciding to go backwards into the wall. As you do. Do you know what? This might actually be windrowed as is. This might be good to bail immediately. Last time was in 2004. Wow. Okay. Maybe I should pay more attention to WEC. Which is difficult because Motors TV seem to like putting on random races in the middle of a bloody race. If you don't know what I'm on about, I was sat there watching my lovely endurance racing today, and then suddenly some kids on motorbikes showed up. Because Motors TV decided, let's show some MotoGP in the middle of this really nice endurance race. And it wasn't even the top level guys, it was the rookies. I was like, why you do that? Could you not have shown this on a tape delay? You have the rights to show the World Endurance Championship live and you're going to some kids on bikes. So we're getting close to that time. Let me know when Landy starts up, guys. I get the feeling he might have a short stream today. The way things are. Are these wheels deleting? That's really odd that there's a gap in that fits exactly where the wheels were. Do I want to do a second headland is the real question here right now. I don't think I do. I think the best bet is to just kind of make up lines now as I go along. He seems to be streaming about 10 minutes. Yeah, that's his plan. He always streams at 7. I always finish at 7, so we just kind of overlap for a few seconds while I finish up my stream and he gets his timer on. And I basically, once his timer starts up, I shut down. That is really strange. Yes, it is, Yanis. What are the challenging rules? Yanis has just asked Nightbot to throw them into the chat if Nightbot wants to be bothered today. Nightbot does want to be bothered today. There are the rules. Basically, there's more rules than that I'm playing with, but they're the I guess the core rule set. I'm playing with a couple of bonus rules just for myself. This is surprisingly difficult to do. It shouldn't be, but it is. I'm kind of glad that I swapped over to this though, because it is going to do, you know, it can do 2 jobs instead of just the one that the normal tether and normal rake can do. Should we do, I'm also not allowed to reset though. Like, that's going to be a thing that's going to screw me over in time when I get more bigger machinery that where I'm, you know, doing stupid things with. I'm not allowed to reset if I can avoid it at all. Obviously I'm not going to have a blanket no reset policy, because there could come a time where the game glitches and something gets stuck in something, and then I'd have to reset. Also, no TARDIS teleporting stuff around, so I have to drive everything around. I have to buy fertilizer and seeds. I have to, everything is going to be done manually, apart from the 2 hired workers across plays that I'm allowing myself. Which comically is more than I usually use. But with this size equipment, I need it. Yeah, I'm only going to reset if I literally, like, no matter what I try, I can't get something undone. Like if a tractor manages to wedge itself in a wall somehow. There's not going to be a way that a front loader can undo that. Or something would usually require a wheel loader to free it, and I don't have a wheel loader. Well, I can try with a front loader, but it won't happen, and I'll have to reset. That's the way that I've got the rules kind of made up, is like, everything that I do has consequences now. Instead of me just saying, oh, I'm out of money, I'm going to money cheat this in so that I can get this thing that I like. I'm wondering if I'm leaving myself enough room to move the baler. Or to turn the baler around. I don't think I am. I think I'm making a horrible mistake, but we'll find out when it comes to baling, I guess. Look for something a bit more European, any suggestions? There's plenty of European maps out there, Martin. I mean, it all comes down to you. And yeah, the joy is you can use this with any map, with any mods. Apart from obviously UAL mods. But you can use it with seasons, on a 16x map if you really want to, if you're insane. Bad timing, Yuso, yeah. We're coming towards the end of the stream. I'm also, and this is another unwritten rule that I need to put into the Google Doc that I'm working on. I'm also not doing any off-camera work, so where I finish the stream, I'll pick up tomorrow, or next time I stream this map, the challenge, I'll be picking up directly from there. Landy's live. Well, in that case, we're finishing here with this windrow. I'll leave you by saying I've been RainbowDave. You've been watching Farming Simulator 17 on the Sandy Bay Challenge map. Hope you enjoyed the stream. If you did, hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. It's been a slow day for subscribers, but they happen. I'm not too surprised. It's a beautiful sunny day. You should all be outside. Annoy Landy by going outside right now. Until next time, stay safe. And goodbye. Apparently there are credits. No, there are no credits. Just watch the empty credits ticker.